Building a massive audience on YouTube typically comes with a few intimidating assumptions. You need an expensive camera, a highly charismatic on-screen personality, and an editor who can stitch together rapid-fire jump cuts and motion graphics every 3 seconds. That hyperkinetic editing style pushes an enormous amount of data into our brains. After scrolling through fast-paced, visually dense media for an hour, our eyes get tired. We experience cognitive overload and visual exhaustion. But right now, a completely different type of content is generating millions of views and massive ad revenue. Creators are building highly profitable channels without ever showing their faces, and they are doing it with almost zero traditional video editing. If you analyze the top 8 faceless channel formats, they actually run on 3 very specific mechanical blueprints. By understanding how these 3 systems work, anyone can build a digital asset using basic software. Succeeding in this environment requires a shift away from technical mastery toward a deep focus on viewer psychology and resource efficiency. The first blueprint relies on stripping away visual clutter entirely. We see this working effectively with stickman animation channels and monkey explainer formats. The mechanics are straightforward. Use basic digital paint programs to create a single character, then duplicate that asset across your timeline. This unchanging visual anchor can explain dense, complex topics like economic inflation without distracting the viewer with unnecessary motion. By removing rapid jump cuts and flashing graphics, you create a less is more psychological effect. A lack of dynamic visual stimulation allows the viewer's brain to relax, making it much easier for them to process abstract auditory information. This extreme visual simplicity is a deliberate cognitive strategy. It directly increases viewer retention and comprehension by giving the audience a break from the noise. The second blueprint shifts the value entirely away from the visuals and places it directly into the script. We see this in all-in-one breakdowns, long-form book summaries, and deep-dive self-improvement channels. These videos are built using a highly efficient AI pipeline. Creators feed massive amounts of text, like entire books or dozens of research articles, into large language models. The AI synthesizes that dense information into concise, highly structured 30-minute outlines. Scripts follow a rigid structural logic, systematically categorizing and explaining subcomponents. With the script carrying all the weight, a creator can leave a static cover on screen for minutes at a time, while the script provides value. In the information arbitrage blueprint, your true commodity is curation. Audiences will watch a static screen if the information density of your script is high enough to justify their time. The third blueprint relies on auditory immersion and interactive repetition. You'll find this system driving quiz videos, horror stories, and sleep fact channels. For quiz channels, creators build a single video editing template. Once that timeline is built, they mass-produce daily content by swapping out text and image variables over the same structural grid. Horror and sleep channels pivot to an audio-first approach. They pair an extremely long, calm voiceover with a single dark ambient image. The financial mathematics of these audio formats are highly lucrative. By stretching the average view duration over 2-hour runtimes, these creators generate exceptionally high ad rates. These channels succeed by fulfilling passive human behaviors. Whether catering to the biological need to fall asleep or the psychological compulsion to solve a trivia puzzle, they automate watch time by removing the need for active visual engagement. We are looking at a fundamental shift in the digital media landscape. High-end, expensive production value is becoming secondary to the strategic use of information. The outdated bottlenecks of on-screen charisma and camera gear are being replaced by the speed of AI synthesis and static templates. The true competitive advantage in 2026 is operational discipline. You identify a specific psychological need from the viewer and consistently execute the mechanical blueprint that fulfills it. You have to look at your own analytical strengths, decide whether you are better suited to engineer visual simplification, process information arbitrage, or construct auditory loops. The most profitable digital empires are those engineered for maximum efficiency, where the system itself generates the value.